Hey, team at Protec. This is Jessica Peterson with Peterson SEO. I really appreciate you speaking with me this morning and accepting this free video. I know she wasn't sure exactly who it should go to, so we're just sending this to the team, okay, guys? So, there are three important tips that I'm going to share with you today that is really going to help you guys online. And it's going to drive traffic and more jobs every month as long as you're following these three tips. Okay. We're going to be talking about citations. We'll talk about content, and then we're going to talk about backlinks. So first we're going to start where your customer starts on their journey. So I apologize. So when your customers need your service, more times than not, they don't know who you are, what your business name is. That is not what they're searching. They are searching for the service that they actually need. And so you need to show up online in front of your customers when they're searching for all of those key terms, just like water damage, restoration, Portland. Now, on Google's first page, there are three separate sections a business can dominate the section in. Okay, the first section is your ads. This is your Google cost per click ads and local service ads. Now, about 10% of people actually click through to those ads. Now, the second section is even more important. This is your Google business profile or map pack. Okay. Now, this section is critical. You need to be in the top 3 spots for your services, because 30% of people come straight to the maps here and don't go anywhere else. And so if you're not one of these 3 top companies, you're leaving money on the table and you're sending every single one of those jobs to your competitors. Now, there's several factors when it comes to ranking these. These are not profiles that you set and forget about it. They have to be optimized and optimized monthly. This is very fluid and continually changing. So not only do you need to be in the top 3, but you need to maintain that position. And one of the most important ways to do that is your citations. Now, citations simply are a directory, a place where business information is listed. So that's going to list your business name, your address, your phone number, and your website in a bunch of directories like Yellow Pages, Yelp, Glassdoor, Better Business Bureau, and even your social media pages are citations. So you need to have a lot of those. You need to have a lot more than your competitors. Now, it's important because it's sending your business information, who you are, what you're about, how to get in contact with you all over the internet. And it's sending all of that information to Google. So Google sees all of these listings with your information. They look at you as a legitimate, authoritative business that wants to send you business. So you need to have those citations. And the next section is the most important section. This section here is called the organic section. This is where 60 to 70% of people come. They will skip everything else and come here. So if you're not one of these businesses on this organic section, then you're again sending all those jobs to your competition. But how do you actually get here? That all comes down to your website. Your website has to be properly built and optimized and have the proper content to be able to be listed there and drive that traffic so you're getting those jobs every month. Google does not rank websites based on appearance. It is based on content. Your website must have a separate page for every single service that you offer. Google requires a separate page. I would have a separate water and a separate flood page. You should have separate pages for every single service that you offer so that you can focus on the content built around each service and around those local keywords. Since you service multiple areas, you also need separate service area pages for each of these services. That is going to allow you to, again, build your content around your keyword strategy for every location you service for these services. So those are really critical. Now, when I say content, content is images like this image here. So that's good. You do have keywords saved there, so that's a plus. Images should be optimized with your business name and your keywords, local keywords. Content is also in video and then written content. You need a lot of written content. This content needs to be built around your services, and on your homepage can also be about you guys. But you need to have those local keywords. You need a repetition of at least 3 of the exact match of your keyword to even be indexed. And your homepage should have at least 1,500 words on the page. You have to have more words than your competition, but you don't just want any content. You're not just putting words on a page. Okay, it needs to relate. It needs to resonate with your customers. It needs to answer their questions and get them to want to interact with your business. So that's really, really critical. Now, if we look at your top competitor in Portland for water is ServPro. Yes, they are a franchise, but you're not competing against the whole franchise, only this location, and they only serve a handful of zip codes. So you have a much wider service area. They also have their hands tied because the franchises do not let them change out their content, refocus their keyword strategy. They get these templated websites that they all have, and that with just location information. So you can definitely do better than these guys. Just having more content, better content, more pages and images, and supporting your website with SEO, and you can definitely beat these guys. Now, this program, Ahrefs, shows us how your website is performing. We can see here you have a rating of a 3.2 out of 100 in Google's trust flow, meaning Google doesn't trust your website. That is partially because of the content on your website, but more so because of the power you're sending to your website. So in order to send power to your website, you need backlinks. You need a lot of backlinks. You need more backlinks than your competitors have. But it's important to understand that not all backlinks are the same. They are not created equal. You do not want backlinks that are not related to you. You have to be going after the ones most related to your services. It could be other home service type services or websites, but it needs to be related. Otherwise, it's considered spam and it hurts your score. You also only get credit for 1 backlink per referring domain. And with this many backlinks, your score should be much higher, which tells us that this is pretty spammy backlinks. Now, again, this is supplying your website with power, which gives it authority, which makes Google trust you and want to promote your website. And so if you think of it like this, a referring domain is a power source, kind of like if you're going to power up your tool. Referring domain is any website that provides your website with the backlink. So if you're going to fire up your power tool, you're going to plug it into a power source, in this case a referring domain. That power source is sending power through your cord to your power tool to turn it on and let you to use it. The same concept here. It needs the continuous flow of power and good quality power. Because you don't have much content, you've only been indexed with 35 keywords, and you only get 1 person to your website. So you're missing out on a ton of jobs by not having proper content and keyword strategy in place or the SEO to back it up. Now, if we look at your competitor, they have a rating of a 77. Doesn't really matter. This is their website as a whole. We're not competing against the whole website. We're competing against their location. And they don't have any backlinks or referring domains to meet. But because that website is so powerful at a 77, just that weight alone is helping them to push their keywords and get this traffic. They've been indexed for 38 keywords, and they're getting over 290 people to the website, which is why I keep trying to stress how important those backlinks are to supply your power. And when we look at their keywords, we can see their position on the first page of Google. So they're getting that traffic. So now if you follow all three of those steps that I have shown you today, your website has huge potential to generate more of those leads and even dominate maybe in some of those areas. And you could definitely be beating these franchises. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.